You're welcome to tonight's episode of the Natalie Fort Show right here on GHOne TV. We bring you conversations that matter, focusing on people and politics with just a few days, the 2024 general elections. We're coming to you from the heart of Accra at the Accra City Hotel. And on today's episode, I'm excited to be sitting with a young, dynamic politician by name Phyllis Koyo, a dynamic and passionate politician, member of the NDC, specifically vying for the Ewutu Senya East Constituency seat. That's Kaswa, to be more specific. On this episode of the show, we sit with her, explore her policies for the constituency and her thoughts ahead of the 2024 general elections. You're welcome, Phyllis, to the Natalie Fort Show. It's very good to have you.
It's good to be here too.
A few days to the elections. You look well rested, but I would imagine that it's been a busy few days for you, hasn't it? A couple of months actually for you.
It has been, and well, maybe I may look well rested, but within the struggle continues.
The struggle is real within,
until the battle is won, we rest not. So we are still hanging in there. We are trying our best. We are meeting delegates. We are meeting electorates. We are meeting opinion leaders. We are meeting organizations and all that. So it hasn't been an easy job, but then, well, we strive on.
You strive on. Did you always imagine this for yourself, politics?
Yes. I've always thought of doing politics, but I didn't know it would be this intense. But then, so I think way back when I was a child, I wanted to be a politician.
You wanted to be a politician as a child?
Yes. So to be able to impact into people and also to be able to change society. I know that normally when you say that you want to change society, people would ask, you can do it without being a politician. But you know that when you are a politician, it gives you the urge for you to be able to get things done easily and also getting access to people. So I've always dreamt of going through this venture, and this is where I am.
You're here now. Your dream is being materialized. Now, we always ask this question on the show: what's the state of Phyllis's life right now? You've sort of told me in a way, but more specifically, how is it looking like for you, looking to take this seat of Ewutu Senya?
Okay, so I would say previously in 2016 we had a gap difference of about over 10,000. I think 12,000 thereabouts. Then in 2020, when I came on, we had the difference of 5,000. So we've really closed the gap. And in 2024, come 7th December, I am looking at nothing less than a 67% win.
You're looking at a 67% win.
Nothing less than
for
a
this election.
67% win.
What makes you so confident that you're going to be able to take this seat? For some time now, it's been it's not been the seat of the NDC, of course, and maybe it's how Kumsin has been serving there. What makes you so confident that this time around it will be for you and the NDC?
In order for you to get your facts right, you always need to undergo research. And I've done some research over the years, way back before 2016. I'm still doing research as I speak. It's just like 24 days to the elections, but I still want to do research to know where my weak points are, what I can do to work on these areas. And I know the amount of work I have also put in for, like, let's say, I think 2 years now. It's been strictly my life is just been strictly politics, meeting with people, propagating our messages, my local policies and that of His Excellency John Dramani Mahamad's policies as well. So we've done a lot of work on the grounds. My constituency and I, we've gone around all the places. Whatever needs be, we have done it. So you know the response from the people is positive. In every election, when you are losing, you know you are losing. But this time, the response from the people, it's been very positive. I think one other thing that I am considering a lot is being vigilant in these elections.
What do you mean specifically by being vigilant?
Because I know that in the 2020 elections we were not vigilance, yes. So a lot of things went wrong on the election day, but this time around we have learned from the previous mistakes. So we are going to be very vigilant and protect our votes.
How do you assess your opponent?
Oh, well, assessing her, I think that before 2016, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left power, all the developmental projects you can see in Kaswa was done under his government. So we can talk of the Kaswa flyover, the Crispo City overhead, the Galilea overhead. We can talk of the auxiliary roads. We can talk of the Kaswa main road. We can talk of the Newtown road to Galilea, to Zongo, to CP, to Walantu. We can talk of the Mother and Child Hospital. We can talk of the number of chief compounds that we have. We can also talk about the only secondary school that we have in Kaswa, which is the Odupon SHS. We can talk of the court complex. We can talk of the assembly. A lot of things that, a lot of developments that happened in Kaswa was done under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
So is that to say she hasn't really done much?
No, after His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left power, there is nothing that has been added on. There were some projects that he started and has been left unattended, like a waterworks at Kaswa J River.
So it has been left unattended too.
Yes, since 2016. Yes. So as we speak, I've lived in Kaswa for more than 25 years, and for some time now, there's no water.
The water situation in Kaswa is quite bad.
It's very, very.
Many reports that.
These are one of the major concerns when you visit people in their homes, because my campaign this time is like 90% door to door. So when you visit people in their homes, all they request is water. They need water.
So it's very dire then.
It is. So normally when I'm going, I carry some water with me, and it is woefully inadequate. It's woefully inadequate.
Why has the water situation specifically, that's a perennial situation, not been solved up until now? Why even not under John Dramani Mahama's leadership?
As I said earlier, under JDM, he built the waterworks at Kaswa of Anko J River. So it was not fully completed until he left office, and when he left, the project had been abandoned. So we are having water crisis as a result, because I'm sure that if that project was completed, we wouldn't be facing water crisis in the constituency. And without water, you get this typhoid, you get this
certainly illnesses, cholera, which currently is being.
So all these things boils down to bad leadership. All these things boils down to bad.
And you are the difference that the constituency requires.
Exactly.
Now, before we delve some more into politics, right, I'd want to get an understanding of you, how you feel like your upbringing and how you were raised created this desire to make a change, because you say that you knew you wanted to be a politician since you were a child. Tell me a bit about that upbringing and how it shaped you and your dreams.
Okay, so I came from a very strict home. Both mom and dad church.
Both were strict?
Yeah. My childhood was in Achimota school, and when people were giving money, break time to go and buy food, I always had everything in my lunch bag. So not even a peso to go and buy.
No extra money for anything.
Not at all. If you want toffee, my mommy will tell you, the money you want to go and buy toffee, there's toffee in your bag, there's water in your bag. You remember what we call squash? Squash. You don't know squash?
No, I don't.
The drink that you add water.
Okay, yes, I do know it. Yes, I do.
We used to call it squash. So you had squash in your bag, you had biscuits, you had.
That's responsible of her. I mean, she's giving you everything you need.
The Bayern on the pack. You see, you want to also experience going to queue for watching with your fellow students, and so it was quite. And right after school, there is a car to pick you up. So
did it make you lonely somewhat? You don't engage as much with your friends.
Exactly. You go home and there's a studies teacher at home. You are watching TV and there's a time on it.
That's a good childhood though. It's disciplined.
It's been some way but I think it also in a way it nurtured me. Yes, to be more independent. And to be very focused.
Did your parents have any political exposure whatsoever or inkling?
Okay, so family-wise, family-wise, from my mother's side, they are politically inclined. From my daddy's side as well,
All the NDC.
all NDC, all NDC. So both sides are very politically inclined. So I believe maybe it's the DNA system.
I think it is. NDC is in your DNA. Politics is in your DNA, right?
So growing up hasn't been easy. There's been challenges though, but I think I believe in hard work, determination, and being focused. If I tell you that growing up has been easy, then I would be lying. But it's been hard work, and one thing about me is when I focus on something,
You get it done?
I make sure I get it done. If you see I don't get it done, then I'm not really interested. But when I set my eyes on the goal, no matter what it takes me, I will achieve
You will achieve it. So when, at that point that you set your eyes on the goal of the NDC, I mean, becoming a card-bearing member of the NDC and vying for this position, what were some of the challenges? Because you are, not to sound, you're a woman, right, in this space. Yes, we have a lot of women playing the political field now, which is impressive. But unique to you, did you face any challenges that in aspiring for this seat?
Okay, so as a card-bearing member, I think way back, but politics and Kaswa is quite challenging, and especially as a woman. I believe that every woman goes through quite similar challenges where you'll be called the P word, where there are a whole lot of allegations against you, what you haven't done, what you haven't said, the things, places you haven't gone, the things they'll say about you. Sometimes
what was one of the worst things you've heard about yourself?
The worst thing, I don't even remember, because every day has a different story.
Does it affect you?
There is always it's just like the NPP government and corruption. Every day there's one corruption or the other, so you cannot even remember the first or the middle one.
Interesting political trap there, right? Very witty, right?
So women in politics, we are prone to this, and I think it's normal. I remember the first time I was told that she's a prostitute.
You were told that?
Yes. Then
do you think marriage helps in politics?
Oh, it does. It does. So I spoke to my godmother about it, and he said, "Listen, in politics, if you're a woman and you are not called a prostitute, then you are not making impacts. It is your impacts that will let people brand you a prostitute. So if you are making impacts and it's changing lives, it's still changing the narrative, that is
there would always be that tag."
Yes, there would always be that tag. So since then, no matter what they say, I just laugh over it and I move on.
You said marriage helps in politics. You aren't married, or are you married?
Sure.
You are married.
Yes.
Did you see that change upon getting married on your political journey? Did it give you a leg up or less judgment?
Oh, well, for politics, people don't really care whether you are married or not. Whatever name they want to tag you with, they tag you with. But I think with it really helped me, because it reduced the perception of people about me. Then it also helped me because my husband is a typical Zongo boy.
Zongo?
Yes, he's a typical
NDC as well?
Exactly. He's the New York treasurer there.
Okay.
He doesn't live here. He lives in New York. So, and within my Zongo community, I'll say 99% of the people know him. So it makes
it only increases your popularity as well.
Exactly. It makes campaigning very, very easy for me, and also it makes me also very accessible to the Zongo.
And therefore he'll support you, so it makes it a lot easier as well, right?
Very, very much. He's also a politician, so probably maybe a better politician than
that you are.
Yes.
Now we're going to delve into specifically the policies that you are proposing for the constituency and what you've done over the years, even though not having taken up the seat, the impact you've made in the community. Stay with us here on the Natalie Ford Show. Fort Show, and I've been in conversation with Phyllis Nakoyo, NDC aspirant for Awutu Senior East. Phyllis, you are strongly defending the 24-hour economy policy, saying that there are no loopholes in it. It is 100% feasible, and it applies to the large industries, to the bank, just as much as it does to the wache or kinky seller. And you maintain that there are absolutely no loopholes in this policy.
Not at all. So let's say I'm rushing from Accra to Kaswa, and I know I'm late or there is a heavy hold up. I know when I get to Kaswa, my watch, even at 11 p.m., my wache seller will be ready.
So this wache, certainly this wache seller.
I love wache.
So do I. It's one of my favorite Ghanaian dishes. But this wache seller herself cannot stay seller to also employ about 3 additional assistants to sell, because if I'm a wache seller, I'm not going to sit at my booth.
So let me break the wache seller.
I'll take a nap and wake up.
So let me break it for you. So the wache seller has a small shop or a container. Right. She sells a wache in the morning, or Indomie in the morning, or what have you. Let's say wache in the morning. Maybe after the first 8 hours. After the first 8 hours, she would have to sell gobe for the second 8 hours. And it is no, it is not her, because she will be tired. She would go home, and her sister or her daughter would come and take over the same shop or the same container or the same space. So that space doesn't go empty.
Essentially saying that this wache seller, right? And wache is, by the way, one of my favorite dishes as well.
Myself.
This wache seller is going to be made to sit at her booth 24/7, maybe take a nap and wake up, or get her family member, or having the Ghana card being
not
one
at all.
of it's
a form of identity, so to speak. Just that we cannot go to the market and buy cars, or go to the banks and just take money with our Ghana, that kind of thing. You see, it is very difficult. But then we may know that the first point of call is our birth sets.
So that's what will be required, the birth sets, because now banks are taking the Ghana card as well.
Oh, I'm not saying they are not taking. I'm not saying they are not taken, but I mean something, a proof of identity.
More legitimate.
That something to prove to you a Ghanaian.
Okay, so something more legitimate than the Ghana card. It's simply what you're saying. But all right, so you walk in, you prove you're Ghanaian.
Then you need someone to attest to the fact that, this lady really sells at this bus stop or at this junction.
Right.
Her shop is here. Maybe I sell close to her. I know her. This is the kind of business she does. And you are good to go.
And will the bank will there be some, there's risks in any industry.
Exactly.
But dealing with this nature of persons, it might be more difficult sometimes tracking them. These stores, for instance, are so easy to move. It's not a brick and mortar.
It is not difficult at all.
You can just pick up your container.
Should I give an example? I don't want to give an example.
Please give me a brief example, and then let's carry on to another topic.
There's this, is it the civil laws that go where they throw stone on you? Okay. How did they track you? How did they throw a stone on your roof?
On your roof.
So they tell you, they announce their presence. So how did they track you?
Okay, so you're saying it's not going to be difficult
to track these people? It's not going to be very difficult. It's not going to be difficult at all.
At all?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so tell me some more about the women's bank. Yes, you said what you call tabletop business owners, but how about the ones that may not tabletop per se, may have an SME, maybe a bit more educated than them, but they also want to access funding?
I use the tabletop because they are more in the system, but what the bank seeks to do is to provide some sort of soft loans for people who are ready to take it. So maybe you have a shop, maybe you sell a wholesale, maybe water or something. You're also entitled. But when I say tabletop, because I'm looking at my community, Kaswa, and I know a lot of people do small businesses. So someone who is into SME, who wants some kind of loan for but not the Dubai techie type.
I like how you describe Dubai techie woman, but because I get you.
Because they can provide collateral.
Okay, so you're not looking at that
not
nature.
At all. We are looking for a chief of a bujuru.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Dubai techie type can also package herself as a budru and Well,
you'll find out.
You'll find out. You have a way of finding out. Okay, so somewhat explained. Generally, right, 24-hour economy policy, that's been the flagship policy of the NDC. Of course, the Women's Bank, that the running mate has also sort of championed, given the fact that she's a woman, the first woman to possibly take up the seat of vice president. How else do you assess the other policy proposals being put forward by the party?
Okay, so I think the other policy, for instance, when it comes to the free fee stress, you know, going to secondary school, after secondary school, maybe your child or your ward will want to aspire to go to the university. When you are going in as a fresh student or first year, it's very difficult. You are paying for user fee, bed user fee, hostel days, and all those things, library fees. Perhaps you never even go to the library until I never went to my library, okay. So I'm speaking from experience. So you are paying for all these things, and sometimes it's very difficult for our parents to raise that money. And you are so eager, especially when your ward gains admission, and now to raise money for the fees. It demoralizes both child and so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says he doesn't want you to go and sell your cloth. He doesn't want you to go and sell the little things that you have, or to go and take a loan whereby there will be so much interest you wouldn't be able to pay. So he's going to give you that free fee stress for the first year.
For the first year.
For the first year. So when you're a fresh student, you can go to school without having to break the bank to get money for fees. I've gotten admission into a school. I'm waiting. Next
You're
year,
waiting to benefit.
I have to benefit. I need to. Hey.
Timely, isn't it?
Yes. So I just deferred my admission because I need to benefit from the free
and
fee stress.
This would not be initially free for the first year.
Just for the first year.
It wouldn't be factored in any way whatsoever. It's entirely free. It wouldn't be factored in subsequently to other
years.
Payments, other years.
No, you know, there is the student loan. So we encourage that people who still have difficulty when going forward, they will just sign on to the student loan. You know, for the student loan, you can take it when you are done and you start working.
Then you pay.
Then it starts the deductions.
So that is.
So it makes it more
somewhat
easier.
of a relief.
Exactly. So, but for the first year, since you are not entitled to the students loan because you haven't entered the school yet. So when we cater for that first year for you, then the second year or within the first year, you can apply for the student loan. Then it would carry you through the 4 years or the 7 years you are going.
And then when you start work, you pay back.
You start working, you pay back. So when you start working, you start paying SNET. So they start deducting from source.
It's being deducted from source. That's how that's how it's going to work. Okay, Phyllis. Finally, and rounding up, right? What words? I'd want you to speak directly to your constituents, to those within Kaswa. What do you have to tell them? With just a few days to 2024 general elections, what are your words to them?
Okay, so this is your girl, your daughter, your wife, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno. I've come to your doorsteps, I've come to your homes, I've come to your rooms, I've visited your kitchens, I've visited your churches, the mosque, everywhere. And I am grateful for the warm welcome. I believe in togetherness. I believe in us doing the work together. I believe in us saving Kaswa or the Ewutu Senior East Constituency. I believe in providing some essential amenities for the good people of Kaswa. I believe in our youth. I believe in providing jobs, bringing the factories and the companies to Kaswa so our youth could get employed. I believe in the leadership. So I believe in the chiefs and the queens of Kaswa. I believe in the GPRTU and the leadership of the market. I believe in all the groupings in the market. Phyllis Nakoyo alone cannot do this job. His Excellency John Dramani alone cannot do this job. I want us to come together as one family. Let us build Kaswa. Let us change Kaswa and make it a better place. As His Excellency John Dramani Mahama always says, that we are building the Ghana that we want. So do we want to build the Ewutu Senya East Constituency that we so desire. 7th December, remember, as the day for elections. Let's all go to the polls early and vote. When you are going to vote wisely. Please now call you GHOne. It's number 2 on the ballot paper. Look out for where the umbrella is. And His Excellency, the next President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is number 8 on the ballot paper. Look out for where the umbrella is. What we normally call the lema. Look out for the lema and vote wisely. Shawa Sitnim Netwa Papa. Thank you and God bless you all.
Phyllis, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and those strong words to your constituents. Now, Phyllis Nyakoyo Okuno, NDC aspirant for Ewutu Senya East. Thank you.
Thank you too for
being
having
on
me.
the Natalie Ford Show. Do stay with us. We've got Fantastic with Phyllis next. Show coming to you from the Accra City Hotel. Now, Phyllis, it's time for Fantastic. So forget politics for a few seconds or a minute or so. So the game is, if not politics, then what? Right? That's the title of the game. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and you just let me know your preferred. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be and why? Briefly.
Hey.
That's a lot.
If I could switch life, myself. Yeah. Because I believe in myself.
You're not going to switch with anyone, you.
Myself.
That's a cop out. It cheats, but it's okay. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? Wow.
To laugh at someone falling from a chair. It just came.
That's been the most spontaneous? Okay, cool. Now, what's one thing you're passionate about that might surprise people?
Being in my seat.
If not politics, but still your mind is on politics. No problem. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Ghana.
Phyllis, you are copping out of all your responses. Another place.
Ghana.
Cheat.
I believe Ghana is a very beautiful place.
It is.
There are a lot of places in Ghana I haven't visited.
Just pick anywhere.
In Ghana.
Okay, anywhere in Ghana. Which other?
Anywhere in Ghana.
Region that you may possibly haven't visited.
The northern region.
The north. You'll go to the north region. Creating your own questions and answering them as you like. Finally, what's your favorite hobby and how did you get into it? Briefly.
Tennis.
Tennis. Oh, yes. Fun. I want to do tennis.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Yes. So someone introduced me to it and I've loved it since then. But these days I can't, because I cannot wear my puskili and go and play tennis. Someone will take a picture and say, and she's working in town with us.
So you can't quite do that.
Yes, and because of time too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I hope after the political season I'll go back.
See you
it's a very healthy game.
It is. It's a
very healthy game.
Lovely. I'll join you when I.
That's good.
Phyllis, once again, thank you so much for being on the Natalie Ford Show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show. Now, as we round up with the Natalie Ford Show, as always, I'd want to leave you with a few words here on Natalie's take. There's so much about Phyllis's journey and aspirations that stands out to me. However, one thing is clear. Although she's still vying for this seat and aspiring for this position, even prior to this, she has made some impact in her community, be it health checks, whatever it is, and improving the roads. She's done something. Sometimes, ever so often, we wait for the position before making a change. So this is just to encourage you in any small way, within politics or outside of politics, do something to transform and improve the lives of a friend or someone in your community. Thank you so much for watching the Natalie Ford Show this evening. Next week, same time, we'll return with conversations that matter. Have a good evening.